We've told you that it is phone-free day on the Union University campus as hundreds of people are engaging in an experiment. They've given up their cell phones for about 10 hours to see how this affects their lives one day. Last year, our own Dr. Blair, who heads up digital media at Union, gave up social media for an entire year. He joins us to tell us what the experience was like. Good afternoon, Dr. Blair. It's good to have you with us.
Good afternoon.
So our first question, I'm sure, is one you've heard many times. Why give up social media for an entire year?
Well, I kind of looked at it as a sabbatical, just taking a break from something. And I couldn't take a sabbatical from work, last year, but I could take it from social media. And I thought that would be a way to free up time and to, think about other things.
Interesting. So how difficult was it the first week, and what kind of withdrawal did you experience?
The first week really wasn't that hard, although I had to tell everybody that I was getting off, and then I spent a few days commenting and telling people, yeah, I'm really getting off, and explaining it. But then the most interesting thing that I found early on was, I didn't give up my phone. I just got off social media. And I was like, but I still want to be engaged in the world, so I'll check the news. And what really struck me is how many stories on news sites are about what somebody said on social media.
Yeah.
And so I had to start backing off of news sites because it was another way of figuring out what somebody said on Twitter.
Interesting. So experts say social media addiction has impacted relationships. It's not always in a positive way. How do you see that?
I think there are positives and negatives, and I think it's like with anything, it's how you use it. And so there are ways to maintain healthy relationships through social media. There's also ways to have negative, relationships. And I think it's like with any kind of conversation, if all you're doing is taking, taking the likes and the loves and all that, and not giving back, then it's going to be negative.
Yeah. So today, Union University is having phone-free day. You have a few hundred people who are giving up their cell phones for 8 to 10 hours. What do you think this day is like for them?
I think for some, it won't be any big deal because they have a balanced relationship with their phone. I think for some, it's going to be like being without oxygen all day. And so they'll be struggling to breathe until they get it back.
Yeah. When you decided to go a year without social media, you planned to write about the experience. Where are you at on that?
I'm still writing. I have spoken to a couple of small groups about my experience. I'm going to be presenting at a conference in the fall about my experience. And so as I get feedback and questions from that, it's helping to refine my writing.
So 40 years ago, researchers were concerned about a nation of TV addicts. Is our concern over social media addiction just an extension of that, or just with a newer form of technology?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that we're always concerned about what a new media is doing to us, and it's a valid concern.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us today. That's all we have for you.